Kilted balls.
Gifted balls.
Woo.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to be a little quieter today. I'm on vacation. So we went on vacation, kind of a last minute decision, not quite last minute. Early enough that we could have told Kilted, but we did not. So
My ass is still a little chapped about that.
I thought I
Slightly.
told you on
I found out
Friday. I thought we
yesterday.
talked.
I found out yesterday. There was like a group chat, and I'm finding out. I'm like, that's like 3 hours from me.
I'm pretty sure we talked about it on Thursday because I think I made the reservations Thursday afternoon. And so I thought I said something about it, but then I was like, maybe I didn't.
Nope.
Maybe I didn't. So I'm like, I can't believe I
Keeping it
didn't,
secret.
but
That's all right. Yeah.
well, and maybe I'll get to see our friend
I
Heather.
honestly don't know if we're going to be able to make it over.
That's all right. But maybe we'll
That
get to
sounds
see
pretty
Heather.
cool.
She said she was going to be like in the same
That,
city we're in, going to the
that'd
same
be real
amusement
fun.
park we were going to go to. Like that's craziness. Hmm?
That's awesome.
It
Yeah, that'd be
is
super
awesome.
cool to be able to hang out with them. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. So we are in Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, which is right next to Gatlinburg. Probably most well known for Dolly Wood and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. I've never hung out here before, so
hmm
it's kind of neat. Neat for me. Good
Yeah.
for me.
I hope
Take
you
out the
enjoy it. That's
RV.
where my timeshare is.
Yeah, I looked at a place because I was looking for places that had
Yeah,
indoor pools or heated pools,
that's
and
super
your
awesome.
timeshare came up. That's
hmm
why I thought I had told you because I'm like, oh, there's his timeshare.
Yeah, it's a place we like a lot, and especially where the timeshare is, the inside pool and all that stuff is fun for the kids, so we can go there anytime. But
See,
if you guys can do some hiking and things like that, I think you'd really, really enjoy it. There's a lot of fun, like hiking and just different
I'm
ways to do around
hoping
there.
they have like a public trolley here, and we're hoping that that is our form of transportation. Like we brought our bikes, and that was it. So
Okay, I was going to ask if you. I didn't think you would tow your car, but I wasn't sure.
yeah, we talked about it, but we were like, no, let's not tow. Let's just go down and have a good time and relax. So I think sometimes it's important to just go and relax. Though it's interesting, we never camp or really go places that are big tourist hubs. And like we pulled on the main
hmm
strip here and we're like, okay, this is like the tourist mecca, right? Like like
Yeah,
the
there's a lot
quintessential.
going on,
Yeah.
and I imagine with spring break going on this week up there that there's going to be a lot of people because it's not a bad drive
No.
and just going there for spring break because, like you said, you can park, you can take the trolley system all over the place. Although
Hmm.
you do owe it to yourself on the way out to stop at the I think it's the Pigeon Forge Knife Works. It's really fun. They have the sweet knives there. Like when we were younger, we would have spent way too much money. I'm borderline. I bought some fun stuff and some actual working stuff, so it's good.
So Pigeon Forge Knife Works. I'll have to look that up. And I'm sure Cal and
Yeah,
I would love
it's
it. So,
they have a giant parking lot, so you can fit.
oh, good.
It's
Good,
well
good,
worth
good.
it. It's worth plan at least a half hour. You won't see everything in a half hour, but the girls could get bored by then.
Well, there's only one girl. Well, I guess there's Amy,
Yeah.
right? It's
Well, that's
also
where I got
weird.
the
It's,
throwing knives.
oh, nice. It's interesting
Yeah.
traveling with only four of us. You know, when we're used to traveling with six. So it's four of us and the two
Mm-hmm.
dogs, and it's actually way more relaxing. And it's
Oh,
interesting
that makes
because Cora's
sense.
having to learn how to like help out around. Not that she doesn't always, but like the other two girls, constantly just do stuff. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so,
that's
and Cal too.
awesome.
Like Cal, I'm like, okay, do this. He's like, what? I'm like, sorry, buddy. You gotta help out. That's how camping works.
Yeah,
So,
he's getting old enough now where he's got little jobs, I'm sure.
oh my gosh, right? I'm like, you're six. Like I was doing a lot of work by six.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
one of the things that I worry about, like with my kiddos, that they don't get the experience of because, you probably didn't have that as well, but living on a farm, like it was pretty early on that we
Mm-hmm.
had like mandatory chores. And that I tell the girls sometimes, I'm like, you guys don't understand. Like, we couldn't not feed the chickens, right? Like, if that was your chore,
Yeah.
like the chicken, like, and you had to feed them and water them every day. Like, it didn't matter if it was snowing, it didn't matter if it was raining, it didn't
Hmm.
matter if you were sick. Like, that job had to get done all the time. And,
And they
nowadays
let you know
people
if they
aren't used to
didn't
that
get
kind of
fed.
stuff. Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Right. Or they would die. So, like that would happen.
Hmm.
Like you'd
Yeah,
forget
that's
and then you'd get the
hmm.
crap kicked out of you because you let a whole bunch of chickens die.
But that's
Oops.
when you can kick the crap out of your kids,
Oh,
and it's
yeah. Right.
okay.
Instant discipline there, baby. Instant discipline. So, yeah, good times. But yeah, so it's nice
Yeah.
here. Um, And for those of you who follow the 36-step challenge, or you should be, people, honestly, you should be doing the 36-step challenge. It's fun, it's easy, there's no stress. But I just hit step 8. So I think you saw that, didn't you?
That's cool. I did. I saw that. I was very proud of you.
I was pretty excited. And then it was funny, I opened a short right after that, but I've only been doing like the minimum shorts, like the 2X's, but things were kind of high. So I'm like, I'm just going to do a quick short. And I did it, and I was kind of sad because it kept going up and it kept going up a lot. So I think I was down like
Yeah.
20%.
I know you don't really like to do shorts.
No. Well, I mean, I used to love
Hmm.
it, but in this iteration, I'm trying to do everything that's super safe. But here's the funny part about it. So I just did um, this little 2X
Hmm.
short because I'm like, okay, that's safe. But it kept going up. And like I said, I was down a lot, maybe 20. Are you back? Is everybody here?
Oh, good. I thought you went away.
I'm
Oh,
back.
good.
Like it,
Yeah,
it
because
popped
it
right
said
back up.
you were breaking up a lot. So I was like, oh
Oh,
no. I don't
well,
know if that
anyway,
was
I'll
me
make
or
that
you.
story short. The grid
You
profit,
were doing your hmm.
I was doing it short, but the grid, because I was doing it as a bot, was at
Hmm.
um 5% within a day. Like the grid
That's
had already
awesome.
made 5% profit. So even though I was down 20, I'm like, okay, I'm not too worried about this because the grid, I think because it was a 2X, and because it bumps
Hmm.
around so much was already at 5X. And so then like as I was driving down, I like opened up and I was at plus 7%. And I was like, oh, I
Hmm.
should probably set a stop loss or this or that. I'm like, wait a second, why do I care? Stop. So I made
Yeah.
7%. And I'm like, how cool that it was probably just at even, but because I was using the bot,
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. Which I had a new
Hmm.
business idea that I don't know how it would work, but I think it'd be awesome. But then it made me feel like dumb
Nice.
about how I do things. But I was like, I should offer people, like, give me, I don't know, $1,000, give me $100, whatever. And I'll guarantee
Hmm.
you 30% in the first year. So yeah, you can go get a CD for 5%, but I'll give you
Hmm.
30%, which obviously I'm not guaranteed. Like I'm not a bank, right? But I was like,
And it's worth it for you.
well, and like the reason I would do it, obviously, is
Hmm.
the like I made 30% the last month and I made 30% the month before that. So I'm feeling confident that if somebody gave me a year, I could easily make them 30%.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I would probably make 60, 90, 120%, but I'm just giving them 30%. Like that's what they signed on for, right? Just like when you do a
Yeah.
CD,
Yeah.
the bank guarantees you 5%,
Hmm.
but they're making 10
Yeah.
or 20 off of you.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I'm like, I like that business model, but convincing people that you're trustworthy. But then I thought, wait a second, I've got a whole bunch of money I put in 5% CDs. Why am I doing that when I can make 30? I'm like, so
Well,
apparently I don't
you
even
gotta
trust
get, you gotta
myself.
get to that point where you're.
I'm like,
Hmm.
I think other people should trust me, but
That's
I don't trust
hilarious.
me. So, and you
Nice.
froze, which means it's probably me freezing. So, what other news do you have on the
You'll
home
get
front
there.
before we
You'll get
end
there.
this bad internet night?
It may I it's hard to tell. We'll have to listen to it.
Yeah. Do you have anything else interesting for our
I don't
cast?
have wonderful news on my end. There's a lot going on, and from outside sources that we're trying to make the best of.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes so, I don't know like what else I can say besides be
Yeah.
good parents. And if you're co-parenting, try to be nice to the other parent. Like that's your child. Try not
Right.
to do silly things.
It drives me crazy
So
when people are
yes.
co-parents and they fight, not realizing that it hurts the kiddos. Like they think it's hurting the other person. You're just
Yeah,
hurting the kid, right?
yeah.
I
Or
see
like
that a
make up a
lot and
bunch of
it
crap
drives
to
me
try to get the
crazy.
other person thrown in jail.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's one of the reasons, and we've said this a lot in our relationship that it'd be better to just off the other person than to split up or get a divorce because that way the kids don't have to go through all that. It's easier for them to go through the death of a parent than it is for the kiddo to go through a divorce, right? Because
Yeah.
people are jerks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
and it
Unfortunately.
doesn't sound right. Like you're like, no, it isn't. It is because death, you'll always feel that, but it gets less and less
Mm-hmm.
painful all the time. And like, let's say you've got a 6 year old, right? By the time they're 18, they'll remember you, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be horrific, right? Whereas if
Yeah.
you're divorced, they're still undergoing that torture, right? All the way up till they're 18.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's
Nonstop.
just rough.
Mm-hmm.
Nonstop all the time. I'm like, that's just sad.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And hopefully it ends then. Hopefully it ends when you're 18.
hopefully, but like even now, like I know kiddos who are divorced and they're like 17 and a half and they're still having to like deal with weekends and deal with which breaks they have to be with which parent, and it just like
Mm-hmm.
screws everything up. I'm like, you're like in college at 17 sometimes and you're still having to
Yeah.
deal with that. That's like weird.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
And
people
there's
not thinking about them. They're thinking about themselves.
right. It's people being selfish. And,
Mm-hmm.
you once you have kids, you got to be a little bit more selfless. And people will
Mm-hmm.
always say that. They're like, oh, I am. I am. Really? Because if
Mm-hmm.
you were, then you would make sure you co parented really, really well. You do everything you
Mm-hmm.
could to make sure, even if the other person was a jerk, you would go out of your way to not be a jerk. Right.
Yeah. Gina is the biggest hype person I've ever seen
Yeah.
when Morgan is
Yeah.
there. Like the
Yes.
biggest. And for some of the things that were said to be said is mind blowing.
It's just sad, just horrid.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, that's not a great. Well, hopefully it all works out.
It's all yeah, everything will work out. You know how that works.
They
I'm
all
a
do.
firm
They all
believer.
do.
And for
Yes.
some reason, like this everyone needs to go through this and we'll figure out the reason someday or never, or
Yeah. Either way,
when we find
whether
out
you
where
do
we
or not,
ranked on the sleeping. Yeah, exactly. It's
either
happening,
way,
so it's supposed to happen.
if it's happening, it's supposed to happen. That's the deal. For sure, that's
Mm-hmm.
the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, people, I don't want to make any of you suffer anymore with our bad internet. We'll be back on sometime, but I don't know how Kilted deals with having a bad internet. I probably should have connected to my phone, but I like trying to
I
use
do
other
my
people's,
best.
when it's fun like this. So,
Uh-huh. I can't wait to listen to this one to see how it
yeah.
sounds.
Well, and
See if
maybe
I can
people,
hear
what I'll
more of
do is
you.
I'll start putting some minis up. It's been a while since we've been doing minis. And, maybe on vacation is a good time to do the minis.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be nice. And by the way, this campground, heated pool and a lazy river.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, outdoor, heated. I'm like,
That's
we went in it
super
today. It was
awesome.
like raining and it's like freezing out, and we were in the pool. I'm like, this is okay. We did get cold by the end, but we're Michiganders, so we can handle some pretty
Okay.
cold, right? But the water was warm. Like, here's how warm it was. Amy jumped right in, right? So
Really?
Yeah, didn't like hesitate at all. Walked right in.
Wow. We
I'm
went to
like,
the oh, I forgot I do have something fun to share.
yay, share, share.
That's awesome that she did that. So Saturday we went to the state park, the Lake Norman State Park, and we went hiking, which was super fun. It was one of our things, like not something that we do, even though we had something already for this 2 months. But there were people swimming in Lake Norman, and the kids are like, "What's going on?" I'm like, there could be Peter Wheel down there, like swimming. He would swim if he was here right now. This is nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Lake Norman probably isn't even cold right now. It's probably like
So it
55.
was a good time.
Isn't it like 55 degrees Lake Norman right now?
I don't know. I didn't go down there. I didn't get that close.
I'd be swimming in it if it's 55. That's for sure.
That is a great question. That's something I bet you. Yeah.
Once you get below 55, it's a little
But
chilly.
yes. Oh, 52 right now.
Whew, that's right on the edge, right on the edge.
Yeah. Oh, wait. This is not the water temperature.
Oh,
Oh, I lie. Oh, no, it's 52. Okay. Never mind.
yeah, probably is. Probably
No
is.
water temperature. Yeah. Anyways. All right.
All right. Well,
Dragon Jerry,
everybody, you
love
have a
you all.
great night. Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Kilted Balls podcast. We love having you here. Shoot us some comments or give us some tweets. Tell us what you think is interesting or stuff about your vacations, I guess. I don't know. But either way, I'm going to be rocking it out and having a great time. So this is Ballbuster signing off. And apparently we have a bad enough internet that we didn't get Kilted. All right. I love you all. No, I can hear the laughter though. Are you going to give us the love of y'all? We're going to count
Got
it.
the Dragon Jerry, love you all.
Yes. Yes. Good night, everybody.